How do you get help as a doctor to move to Canada? This is a very, very interesting area of law because doctors and the movement of doctors between countries happens quite frequently. And even between countries like the United States and Canada, you get Canadians who move to the United States thinking, oh, we're going to make more money, it's going to be better for all kinds of reasons. And you have Americans who move to Canada to be doctors because for different reasons they think there's a benefit here. And then throw into the mix all the people from around the rest of the world who are medical professionals and they're doctors in their country and they want to move to Canada in order to help with medical treatment for people here. So the process is first you need to get a work permit. Just like any other time you work, if you're not a Canadian citizen, you need that work permit to work in Canada. Part of that process for becoming a doctor working in Canada is you have to get what's called a labor market option. And so the option is going to go through where the government's going to make sure that there's not a Canadian doctor who wants that role, that it's available, so they're not taking the work away from Canadians. Now, as we know, physicians seem to be a shortage almost everywhere, where there's just not enough doctors, whether it's family doctors or specialists, in order to help everyone who needs the help. And so getting that labor market option in place is really important. If you don't have a positive one, you cannot get the work permit. Once you have that positive one, they're also going to look at the regular factors in terms of any kind of immigration to Canada. Like, will the government allow you to come to our country? For instance, if you have a criminal record and you've done something terrible, the Canadian government probably doesn't want you to move to Canada. So they're going to look at your criminal record. They're going to make sure you're healthy. They don't want people coming into the Canadian healthcare system, which is exceptional, if it's going to tax that system and you're not going to be able to contribute. They're going to look at the process where you're going to start, where you're going to work. Sometimes they might want you to work in rural areas where there's less doctors available. And part of that process, they're just going to make sure that you're a good fit for the country and they have a place for you to be able to work. Now, that is just the first step, is getting your work permit. And if you find that you like it in Canada, and if you want to, as a doctor, and you want to be here permanently, then you apply for your permanent residence. And ultimately, if you choose, you can go on to get your citizenship and remain in Canada forever. You can remain here with your permanent residency, but there are advantages to getting your citizenship, which allow you to have your passport and voting and all that stuff. So, and you can't be deported if you do anything criminal, which we don't want you to do anyway. But it's all part of the process. If you're planning as a doctor to move to Canada, talk to an immigration lawyer. They're going to be able to help you and navigate the systems and help you determine if it's likely to be a good fit for Canada or not, and help you make that choice and go through the process so that you can move here to help Canadians be healthy.